Hi guys, we did promise some videos teaching how to play the game, so we thought we'd have a look at a Balkan Fury. So this is my copy of the game. We're going to punch bits off it and start teaching you some of the key bits of the game system. As we mentioned in the unboxing video, we do have some how to play the game learning stuff. In 1940, the Italians were desperate to broker war with Greece. God knows why, but they were. So what they decided to do is send a submarine, torpedo a cruiser that was attending a religious festival. So we're going to show you how that works here. Now, obviously, because it was during peacetime and the cruiser had been publicised in its attendance at this particular festival on an island, the Italians knew exactly where she was. So she was spotted. Normally, you'd have to roll to spot the thing on the spotting chart. We do that later on in some of the other stuff we'll talk about. So this is a really simple thing just to give you a quick taste of submarine warfare. So we know it's a Squall-class submarine. And for those of you who are playing Balkan Fury, you'll find it on counter sheet 7. And it's down in 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th block. It's the second counter in. Just punch it out. So we now have a submarine. It's got a 1 gunnery factor, 1 protection rating. To be fair, if you're daft enough to try and fight something with guns with your submarine, you're probably going to lose in this game. It's got no anti-aircraft value, but it's got a 3 torpedo rating. That's really important, as you can imagine. We've just dumped the ship down there. The Ely is a very old, we call it a light cruiser. It's really a protected cruiser, a scout cruiser, built before World War I. The Greeks had partially modified her, and that's her there. In counter sheet 1, the right-hand column, the very bottom block, 3 in from the centre. So that's the counter there. I don't know if you'll be able to see any detail on it. It doesn't really matter because all we're doing is showing you how it works. Now, if you want some close-ins of the counters, obviously you can get the game, or we'll get Andrew some pictures of close-ups of these counters. Geoff, can you grab a couple of pictures of these two, please?
Yep.
They're just there.
They're punched out, and then there we go.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. So we need a couple of dice. We need the naval success table and naval efficiency table. So that's on this chart set here, up at this corner and that corner there. Okay. As Geoff keeps telling me, we're very professional with this. No, we're not. We're having fun. So that cruiser is actually in an island. The submarine is placed in the same hex, same sea zone as it. We know it's there, so we're going to attack it. So what you have to do is spot it. If that ship was an anti-submarine warfare thing, it might counter-detect the submarine, but it's got no anti-submarine capability as a cruiser after all. So we go straight to resolution here. Now, dice are modified in the game system by things like naval efficiency. So the Italians, if you take a look very carefully at the chart, somewhere about here are a dash. They have no modifier. If they're German, you should be able to see, I hope, that it's a +2. If it's British, it'd be a +1 in this instance. Right? So we then compare it to see how much joy we have with the torpedo attack. Because it's in a port, a third of the torpedo factors are discounted, so there's only 2 attempts to hit. So for each of the 2 available torpedo factors from the 3 that the submarine would have in open water, we roll 1 die to see if something happens. And that is rolled on this surprise on the outcome table, success table up here. So either you do, you don't. Okay, so we know it's a straight die roll. We've got 2 attempts. So Geoff, if you want to roll the 2 dice and make sure they land somewhere about here. So we got a 3 and a 4. I have a sneaking suspicion that's not a good result for the Italian commander. So less than 5 is our fail. Fire the commander. If that had been a German submarine, he'd still potentially failed, okay? Because there's an F dash. With this, you need to roll later more, so have another go, so that the guy's been told, don't come on till this is sunk. Yeah, we got a 9 and a 10. Right, so 0 is 10, 90 is a 9. So that's the second attempt. He's reloaded his tubes and he's had another go. So we've got 2 successes. So we now need to take a look at what these results actually mean. That just means we have to roll a die to see damage. This one here means we can actually take a look at critical hits. Now, with the protection chart here, which I need to find in the charts. Where did I put the naval charts? Yeah, did I done them over there?
Probably.
This is the great bit about doing this. I haven't played one of these games for a wee while.
Naval.
There we go, thank you. So here we go, ship protection chart. Right up at the top here, beside the naval gunnery one. So we know the ship has a 4 protection rating, it's got 2 hit points. It's got a hash mark and it says hit by torpedoes or capital ships. It must roll on the critical hit table. So Geoff very kindly has done 2 critical hits here. So let's deal with the first one. Could you roll a die, please?
1.
Yep, just roll 1 die. So we divide that down. That's the number of hits that we've applied. We divide that by 5, so 4 is essentially 1 hit. But it's also a critical hit. Now the ship's got 2 available. So I'm going to forget about the fact I've got a 9 for the moment. We'll deal with the guaranteed critical hit you got from the 10, which is really guaranteed. So I now roll and I get a 6, because I'm doing the damage control. Well, I just got 2 extra hits on my ship. It's gone. So the Ellie just got sunk. So I think you can see that generally speaking, even though I haven't played this for ages, it's actually pretty easy to pick up. Now, when we set these games up, there is a way to do it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of setup for Albania. Now, the reason I'm picking Albania is I want you to see how we lay out the counters and the counter sheets. We're not going to bother with anything other than the assets we need for the operations in Albania. This is really important to understand the first time you buy the game. Don't immediately punch all your counters. If you do that, it's going to be a real Class A pain in the backside setting up the game. So, we need the Axis Order Battle Book to begin with. Mainly because it's the one closest to hand. Normally, the defending player, in this case the Greeks, set up first. But I just want you to see how we set stuff up. Now, we spoke in the unboxing that each map has a code, so this is map section XA, and each hex has a number. The number and the letter code tells you where to put something. So I'm not interested in the Bulgarians for this at this moment in time. What I'm interested in is our Italian friends. They start on page 40 of this, and we're only interested in stuff that's going to actually be in Albania to begin with. So, we know we're going to put the counter there, but we're not going to put too much effort into explaining everything quite yet here. We know that the Italians have a supply terminal at Durresi. It says it in the OB. I should know because I wrote the OB. Let's make sure I've got all the Italian counters that I need. There are quite a few Italian counters in this game. They should all basically be here. And I'm hoping that I've remembered to put supply terminals in the counter sheet mix. It wouldn't be the first time, guys, that I've forgotten them, by the way. That is not looking too hopeful. So you're aware, an awful lot of the proofing was done when I wasn't very well. So I could have missed stuff. I'm hoping not. Be damned. There we go. There's the supply terminal right there. So it's up at the top right on counter sheet 4. It obviously started here, meant that way or something odd. I don't know. Maybe I was sober when I did it. Probably what the problem is. Pass me a glass of wine. Excuse me. So Durresi is this port here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just put supply terminal on it and it's in place, so it's actually operational. Cool. Now, within the supply rules, you have to have a certain size of port. On the overseas system, we have 2 supply systems which work the same way for it to work. But because the Italians have a port engineer here and are upgrading the port, we permit it to be used for supply purposes. And I'm pretty sure one of the next things I'm going to have to find is that supply asset. Now, there's another supply terminal anywhere up in northern Italy. We don't really care for the purposes of this. As I say, I just want to get Albania set up and then we'll move forward. Don't need roads. Don't need Kost, don't need Scarpanto, but I do need the Albanian one. So I need an Army HQ that says Super Alba, which is right there. So you'll notice that it has popped out at this point here. The way I do it is I create these files and then I start putting in all the counters, starting there and working my way down, which is why the first time you play it, have your little baggies, have your counter trays or whatever to one side. Don't punch it till you need the unit. It makes it a whole lot easier to set up these games. Now, we're not going to make you watch the whole of the setup, by the way. I'm not that cruel. He will disagree, though, because he is going to have to sit and look at it. So then we need the 3 Julia division, and it is in any hexes in Albania on a railway line. So there is a railway line from Jerezi over here towards the border with Yugoslavia, and there's one that drops down to this hex here, and that really is where the Julia division pretty much has to go. It's about as far south as you can get it. And the interesting thing is, we originally thought, and a lot of books imply it was in the front line. It wasn't. It did attack though, so it moves into combat. Just bear that in mind, guys. Okay. I'm telling lies. It's in 0436, which is God, it's in ZE, so we actually need ZE. But 0436 is somewhere about there. It's close enough. We also have that HQ can be moved down here. That's the point. There we go. And we should have a core, and it's 25th core XXV core. So it's just there. And again, you get the idea how fairly easy this is to do. And put it there, and I believe we have a quartermaster unit. So it is going to go, it needs to be within the operational area. This whole thing needs to be within the rail thing. Now, there is a little rule in the supply section for Greece, which informs you that by using your railway lines solely for supply, you can extend your supply lines. In other words, you start them from the end of the rail line. So the quartermaster unit I have here essentially is just a bunch of trucks. Now this one has 5 SP, and it means it can support 5 stacking points of units. So that mountain division is basically 3 stacking points. Yeah, so it can support another couple of stacking points advancing into Greece, and they can go a little bit further than they would do otherwise because of the way the supply system works, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So we're going to co-locate that in here at the end of that railway line. Now, when we start moving stuff, you're going to see me move these to extend my ability to project power into Greece. Don't fear it, just do it. And don't worry about it maybe not making sense if you're used to something like Europa or whatever, where they basically had a pretty false interpretation of how supply and so on worked. So I've taken out these by accident. We're going to put them over there so we don't lose them. The next division is a Venezia division, the 19th, and it is in 0439. So I need, got the other map there, Geoff. It's there, isn't it? So I think we're going to flip this over just so we can see it. So the extra flexibility are provided here for the Italian player is actually quite interesting. We were a lot more strict the first time we did this game about where stuff went, particularly the supplies chain. And we decided we'd been a little bit too strict. So instead of setting up in this map, we'll do it here. It's just going to quick move down. But you get the idea. It's nice and clear anyway, the mapping. So 0436 is that one there. What did I say the Venezia division was again? 0439. Just here. Right, now bear in mind there's a big overlap between the two maps, and just transcribe it all over. The Piedmont division. Yep, got it. Piedmont division is right here. The key thing about this, by the way, is the breakdowns are included in the game. So the Italian infantry divisions break down 2 separate ways. with an artillery regiment and 2 infantry regiments, or 2 stronger infantry regiments. They are back printed, so you can muck around with that to your heart's content as you're playing the game. 0438, which is that one there. 51st Sienna Division, 0235. So that should be a Sienna Division. Now this is the 3.6 variant of it. Remember we told you we did a whole pile of work on it. That's the original value of the division. It is upgraded, so we now need to go looking on the counter sheets for the 29th. Hey guys, we're back. With a minor technical, because I couldn't find the counter. It was actually on a different counter sheet. If anyone's looking for it, it's actually that counter right there. It's counter sheet 5. So we did actually get it right. So we've put another couple of counters on. Geoff's going to walk you through him doing a few of these while I pop off and grab a drink for us both. Bearing in mind that he's on the orange juice, I'm sure he'll be sensible about the stuff he's going to say.
I'll keep it clean.
Please don't, because we'll probably prefer that. So guys, I'll hand you over to Geoff. Have a good run with him, yeah?
Double X's division, isn't it?
Yep.
Brilliant. So, hello, boys and girls. So let's start off. So, Jericho Cat, that's ZA0335. So starting at 0335. Jericho Cat, right, 0335. Ah, yes, of course. So Jericho Cat, and that is the 5/6 23rd Farrier Infantry Division. You can find it on this particular counter sheet. If I can just orientate that properly. So let's punch it out. There we go. Nice and careful. I've punched out the 225th Brigade with it. There we go. So, Jericho Cat. Right here. Nice and simple. So, hello Cat. Right, Corker 0538. 0538. Corker, and there's a nice little town right there. 5649 arm. 49 part. So again, on this particular counter sheet, right there. See properly? There we go. So let's remove that. Korka. There we go. Nice and simple. Right. Girocaster 0336. Right here. So basically it's 1, 2, it's 3. Yes, hello. Hello. Right. 0336 Girocaster. That's 3 hexes to the right, 1 hex below Pindus. So what do we want to do there? We want a 3216 light arm ARM. Light armor division, there we go. Please excuse me. 131st. So let's look for a 3216. Right. So if you wanted to place your first divisional counter at Girocaster, right there, that particular counter just below my thumb. Natsu the cat is very keen to be involved. Not sure cats really understand the principles of armoured warfare, though. Write in if you have exceptions to the rule, though. They're very good at charging, aren't they? Right. So at Geocaster, here we go. Nice light armor division right there. Next, 016 at Mot Eng 3. So let's have a look at this brigade. Always have orange juice before you set these up. Keeps you sane. 016. Don't have too much though, because you'll end up toasting the queen. Nothing wrong with that, of course, just we're doing it quite a lot. So 016 Mot Eng 3, 26. That one right there, and just below my thumb. And we place this in the same space as the 131st CN Light Armor Division. CN, what would CN stand for in this particular case?
Centauro.
Centauro.
Go away, cat. Oh, guys, that's what happens when you've got a cat. He likes to take part in everything we do.
ZA0234.
That plaintive whinging, by the way, is because he thinks it's dinner time for him. It's not quite yet. It's the wife. Got her phone back.
0234. So 0234 is where we have the, if you can see my finger here, is where we have an existing counter, the Siena 51st Siena Division. So putting right there, we have cavalry. Ooh, an X. It's not a double X. It's brigade. There we go. Right.
2 X's brigade, 3 X's corps, 4 X's army, 1 X is a brigade. 3 fingers, regiment.
There we go.
2 fingers, very rude, but it's also battalion.
There we go. Churchill liked his battalions in that case. Right. So 0234. Cavalry Brigade, Albanian, Colonial. Very interesting. So 19 Cavalry 10. Come on. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. Where are we? 9? Yeah, 19. 19, come on. Yeah, as I'm sure you all know, cavalry is a nice box with a diagonal line straight through. So I just need by that, please excuse me. It's a white one, of course. So see here. White, colonial, 10, cavalry, Albanian, 19. Come on, you can. Right. After that job and a half, that goes on top of that. Very nice. Right, 16 infantry 3 GDS. Right. Nice little regiment. 16. 3 GDS. Oh, right there. Excellent. You follow my finger. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth counter in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fourth counter in. Sixth counter down. And one thing I'm discovering, if it's your first time playing this sort of game, be vigorous when you pull the counters out. If you push them carefully, you may occasionally get the backs ripped off slightly. So be very careful when you do that. Carefully and vigorously rip them out. Right. 1, 5, 1, 6. Heavy artillery 3.
A heavy unit has a dark bar down.
Here we go.
That's it, right there.
Right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth counter down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Fourth counter to the left or to the right. Excuse me if you're looking at it. Right. About this. There we go. Come. And that goes on top of there. So you can already see we've stacked quite a few, and we're starting to get quite a nice little army there. And that should be, and it's on the road, so that should be quite a nice little defensive position. Right, any port in Albania. Level 1, CD Girassi.
So it's coastal defence unit.
Yeah.
And probably up amongst those, possibly.
Level 1, CD.
Okay, so it's not there, it is there.
Ah, there we go. And it's nice and simple. It says level 1 on the counter. So third one from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth down. Okay.
What we'll do is we'll pause us setting this up for you guys, because we can probably do it a little bit quicker than we're on video. But we hope you're getting the idea of the way we set up the counters when we did the artwork. It should make it that wee bit easier. Where a counter's not in order, it's either because of an upgrade previous to the start point, or somebody, probably me, forgot it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this little bit of what we're doing. Next time you see it, there's going to be a lot more units on this bit of map, and we'll actually be ready to start killing stuff. Have yourselves a good one. We'll catch up with you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.